Hello and welcome to another special episode coming to you live from the Opryland Hotel and Convention Center, where Lads to Leaders 2025 in Nashville, Tennessee is taking place. My name is Robert Hatfield from The Light Network at thelightnetwork.tv, and we're here at this podcasting booth that is powered by Lads to Leaders, and we're enjoying having some chats during the convention with some people who really contribute a lot and mean a lot to Lads to Leaders on a very high level. And so we've gotten to chat with a lot of great people. And today we get to chat with President David Shannon, who's coming to us from Freed-Hardeman University in Henderson, Tennessee. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, Robert.
Glad you're here.
It is great to be with you. I appreciate the Light Network and the
thank
great
you.
work that you do.
Oh.
And how great is it to be in this nice little hotel, quiet, quaint, just
Not a lot
sleepy
going on.
little town right here.
They
Wow.
have a record attendance at Nashville this year of 10,000 people.
Isn't that amazing?
Isn't that something?
10,000 wonderful people.
Wonderful people.
Isn't it
That's
great
right.
to be around so many great people?
It really is. 98% of the rooms in the Opryland Hotel are being occupied by Lads to Leaders participants.
That's
Isn't that
amazing.
something?
That is.
I love it.
That is. It's great. And hey, you know, we're here to talk about Lads and Leaders, but I'll just come right out of the gate to say what a
Okay.
wonderful program.
Yes.
What a wonderful program. You know, the largest training program of young people within the churches of Christ. And, you know, how could you measure? On this side of eternity, we can never measure all that they do.
That's right.
In the kingdom, but so thankful for them.
Yeah. And we're also thankful for Freed-Hardeman University, and a lot of great things are happening over there these days. There was an official opening ceremony for the brand new Jones Dining Hall that's garnered a lot of attention lately.
Yes, we were
yeah.
excited. That was just last Friday.
Last week, yes.
And yes, just a very nice dining hall. The students are enjoying it. Faculty and staff's enjoying it. The community, they also are enjoying it. And so we're just blessed. You know, there were donors that were very generous, and we are thankful for all that they did. And it was a little bit of a journey getting there. You know, we first started dreaming about that project in 2019. And began raising money for that project in 2020, the same time COVID hit, the very same time. And then as we began constructing that project, we were dealing with the post-COVID chain supply issues and the increase in cost. And so it truly was one of those projects that had a lot of hurdles and challenges, but also we're just so thankful the way God continually provided, and what a beautiful facility now.
It really is. And now, I remember thinking, I don't know how campus is going to feel when that building is replacing that parking lot. And now I'm like, I don't really remember what it was like before that was there. You know, it seems like it's just been there. It belongs.
Right.
That's good. Lloyd Auditorium closed and reopened as Dryden Auditorium, and it looks spectacular.
Yes,
That
and
was
functioned so well.
Yes.
You know, the sound and the lighting. And when I'm talking about lighting, I'm talking about especially like stage lighting.
Yeah.
Those two upgrades really are the biggest upgrades to that auditorium, even though anyone that's just walking in to attend an event, what they're going to first notice is how beautiful the new chairs, or you know, the stage, the way it's been redone, and you know, and things like that, which definitely are a great improvement, and we're very thankful. But really, the biggest upgrades have been the sound and the lighting, and we're excited about that.
Two big events that have already taken place in there, lectureship and making music, and it was shining through all of that. It was great.
It's only been open a few weeks, but wow, we have utilized it with our two biggest events of the year.
Broke it in. That's broke it in well.
And I say our two biggest, but really graduation.
Yes.
There's usually standing room only.
Right.
So here in just a matter of a couple of months, we're going to have three huge events in
The
it.
big three.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, we are thankful.
Well, there's a lot of moving and shaking happening at Freed-Hardeman, and that's really exciting. A lot of good things that are happening. It's not just capital improvements, but just everything all the way around. It's really great.
Yes, we are excited. You know, we this coming graduation will have our first graduate students with a doctorate in ministry. And you know, the FHU Next campaign that a lot of these facilities and programs have been a part of. It was started out of FHU Next, and here we'll have our first cohort to graduate.
Wow.
And we're so excited about that. And we, through this, also began an engineering program, a computer engineering program, and we have students enrolled in it now. And yeah, just a lot of good programs. And, you know, with some of the facilities, you know, it really comes down to stewardship.
Yeah.
You know, we're just trying to take care of what God has given us. And it's good to see the improvements.
Well, thank you for all you do, and we're grateful for Freed-Hardeman University and just the whole thing. It's such a blessing. FHU.edu, we'll have more to say about that in just a bit, but we're here at Lads to Leaders, and you know, at these award ceremonies this evening here in Nashville, I mean, there'll be representatives from Freed-Hardeman University and maybe even you yourself that hand in some students some special pieces of paper that are an important key to their future academic journeys and careers. Lads to Leaders and Freed-Hardeman have a special relationship, I think, right?
Yes, we enjoy probably one of the most natural relationships that you can enjoy. I just mentioned this to Roy Johnson this morning, the executive director of Lads to Leaders, and because the heart of our mission is so similar. Both organizations, when you look at their mission statement, it includes the idea of developing. You know, Lads is to develop and to train leaders, and for us, it's to help students develop their God-given talents for His glory by empowering them with an education that integrates the Christian faith, scholarship, and service. And so it's neat to think that both of us are about this business of helping young people grow in their faith and in their service, and to expand the experience of their service so that they can do that better. And so you mentioned us tonight passing out scholarships. We will have about 30 students this coming year that will have qualified for Lads to Leaders scholarships.
Wow.
And in that, we also will have 60 students that will be in the freshman class this fall that have been participants of Lads to Leaders. And when I say participants, meaning that whenever they applied and they spoke to us about their experiences, they listed Lads to Leaders. Now, there's probably more than 60 in that class.
Right.
But what that means is that's about 15% of our freshman class coming in.
Wow.
Will have been a part of Lads to Leaders. Last year there were 54. And so when you think about a 4-year, you know, you're looking at somewhere around, 220, 250 students were very, very active in Lads to Leaders, and now many of those are together for their college experience as well.
Well, I know a lot of students who currently enrolled at Freed-Hardeman, and they'll come over for the weekend to support some friends who are a little younger than they are, and to support their home congregations here in Nashville, which is really neat as well. So
yes. When I walk down the corridors here, I regularly see our students that, exactly what you said, they've just come by to encourage someone in their church.
That's what you do Easter weekend. You go to Lads.
That's it.
That's what you do.
Think about it. You're saying this, but just think about it. Like literally, several of them have been coming here since like first grade, second grade, third grade. And so when you say it's what you do, think about if you're 19 or 20 and you've done it every year since you were in kindergarten or first or second grade. It really is what they do. Yeah. It's neat. It's neat.
Well, let's talk about some of the ways that FHU and L2L intersect with each other.
Yeah. Knowing I was coming on this podcast with you, which again, thank you for this invitation.
I'm thrilled you're here.
And glad that Lads is hosting us in this way.
Yes.
And it just caused me to think, really for the first time, to really try to think through what are all the ways that that we are intermingled. And as I mentioned, already, through the scholarships and through those that are part of our enrollment. But I got to thinking about lectureship. And 2 lectureships ago, it was during our annual Bible lectureship that we awarded Mr. Roy Johnson a honorary doctorate degree for all that he has done through the years to make a difference in the kingdom through his leadership of Lads Leaders. Also, this past year at our lectureship, which was in March this year, so just a few weeks ago, 9 Lads to Leaders board members were speakers
wow.
on our lectureship. And also this year, our Friends of the Restoration luncheon, each year they pick out someone to focus on and maybe somebody doesn't know, so it's to educate them, but even if they do, to give honor to their memory. And so this year, it was dedicated to the life and the legacy of Dr. Jack Zorn.
Wow.
And so it was neat to spend that luncheon together thinking about the man who really, we're living his dream.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
I don't know if I've met anyone that could dream bigger than Jack Zorn. I remember I was a young adult in full-time preaching, but I remember hearing him speak sometime and thinking, I don't think he can pull this off. And you wait a few years, and whatever he was talking about that moment would be reality.
He was
and you're
doing
like,
it.
Boy, he would do it year. He would talk about ways he was going to grow Lads, because I'm going back when Lads was much smaller.
Okay. Yeah.
And he would talk about ways he would grow it. I don't know if that's going to work. But he did it. It's neat to run into those people in life who dream dreams so big that God has to be involved. And Dr. Jack Zorn was one of those. And so it's neat to see the leadership of Lads being heavily involved in lectureship at Freed-Hardeman. But also when we think about a university, Robert, we have more red coats enrolled at Freed-Hardeman than any university.
Wow.
And so in that we appreciate it because they're top notch.
Yes.
They come in with a lot of skill and experience in leading, and you can tell when a young man gets up to lead in chapel, the training that they've been receiving since they were in first or second grade, it really shines through and makes a difference. And then our one of the events that we enjoy each year, just before lectureship, the Lads to Leaders board will have one of their annual meetings will be on our campus just
neat.
before lectureship. And so we host them every February.
Okay.
And it's just a good time to have them on campus. And we love and respect them. And, of course, Dr. Doug Burleson, who teaches at Freed-Hardeman and is director of our lectureship, he also is the convention director at Lads Leaders in Little Rock, Arkansas. And so there are so many ways that overlaps. And I'm going to say a few more, and then I'll take a breath and let you speak.
No, this is good.
Okay, but think about this. We are really, really excited about this. And I don't think I'm letting the cat out of the bag. I don't know if this has been...
This could be breaking news.
Yeah, it might be. But so for lectureship next year, on Saturday, before it starts, Sunday evening, we're going to have a warm-up Bible Bowl over James and 1st and 2nd Peter, which is the Bible Bowl books.
That's the theme next year.
For Lads Leaders. And so it'll be the opportunity for those that are, maybe they live close enough to Henderson to drive in, or if they're already coming in for lectureship, and it will be just another exercise for students that want to participate. It'll be a warm-up on campus in Dryden, in our new auditorium we were talking about a while ago, newly renovated. And so that'll be neat. And, hey, and there's more.
Wait.
Okay. Also, we have a very large dual enrollment program. That's for dual enrollment is where high school students can take college classes for credit. And because of the theme of Lads Leaders of the 1st and 2nd Peter and James being the book, this fall we're going to offer a dual enrolled class, a Bible class, over James and 1st and 2nd Peter.
Really?
And we're doing this just for the high school students that are part of Lads to Leaders, but they want dual credit. They would love to go ahead and earn a few hours of college credit. And so they can prepare for Bible Bowl and Lads Leaders and get college credit. And so we're excited about that. And for those that would know Dr. Tim Alsop, who is minister at Great Oaks, he will be teaching that class, and he is an amazing teacher. So it'll be a great study. And so that's just several of the ways that
cool.
we overlap. And it, some of it, yes, we are intentional, but it's so natural. It's never like, anytime we sit around and think about these things, it's never like, how could we make this fit? It's, what we do is so similar. It's just we typically work with the youth as they're leaving Lads to Leaders, and we just kind of pick up as a support system, if you will.
That is so neat. Have you all offered, I know the Bible Bowl thing is new on Saturday of lectureship.
That's right.
Is the dual enrollment course a brand new thing as well?
It is.
Yeah.
Both of those are new.
That is really, really neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what you've done. People are going to be like, well, I want more information about that. Should they watch the website, or how will they be able to contact to find out?
Definitely watch the website, and if you're not seeing the information when you'd hope to see it, reach out to our department that works with dual enrollment.
Okay, got it.
And there's an office that they work with. We have over 600 dual enrolled students.
That's
great. And we have dual enrolled students from all over the United States. Several dual enrolled students maybe are enrolled in a high school that we work with.
Yes.
But then there's also students that are homeschooled from all over that come on. And
That's
we
really
have an early admit program where if a student qualifies, they can begin their sophomore year and graduate with an associate degree and a high school degree. And so
something? Okay.
It's neat to see the different opportunities that's out there. So reaching out to our dual enrolled department would be the way.
Probably some information on social media as well as
when it's
time
ready.
Gets a little closer. Yes. So very, very, that's exciting. Okay.
It is.
So it's a natural fit. The missions are the same. There's a lot of overlap, especially as you just highlighted, between lectureship and this organization, Lads to Leaders, and of course these brand new things where you guys are being intentional about offering things that can really help. I mean, you think I saw the Bible Bowl slideshow that Lads to Leaders makes available for Genesis this year. Okay, 50 chapters in Genesis. There were over 2,000 slides.
Wow.
In that slideshow, each with a question. And really, you cut that in half because there's the question and then the next slide has the answer on it. So there's like 1,000 questions.
That's amazing.
Genesis 1 through 50. Okay, we're going to way cut that when we go to James and 1st and 2nd Peter. Not even anywhere close to 50 chapters between those three books. And now you're talking about those who are involved in the dual enrollment program can even study these books on a collegiate level. They'll know this stuff inside and out.
They will.
Yeah. Then they'll come to Lads, and everybody will be like, why are they doing so much better than we are? It'll be like, well, they were at Freed-Hardeman. That's what
there
they
you
did,
go.
So.
The advantage.
That FHU
on the lighter side, I think the students that participated this year in Genesis as long, they're going to think they're on vacation next year.
You know it.
Oh, that's nothing. But what great books to study.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, super practical. And we were talking about, I know my wife, I didn't grow up doing Lads to Leaders, and that was my loss, but my wife did, and she remembers doing James as a child, and she says, I still know a lot of that stuff from the book of James because we had to study it thoroughly for Bible Bowl. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's beautiful. So important. What we learn in our youth, not only does it give us that foundation, but for most of us, it's easy to recall.
It sticks with you.
So important.
I know, and it's easier to remember. Anyway, so many reasons why you should be involved in Lads to Leaders.
Yes.
Because that stuff does stick easier than it does when you get into adulthood, that's for sure.
Yes.
What else do we want to highlight about Freed-Hardeman and Lads to Leaders?
I know we're kind of getting closer to the end of this than the beginning.
Okay.
And I just want to, when I think about Lads to Leaders, I just want to give a shout out to the benefit. Yes, it is a youth program, and it does amazing work in developing young people. But, I think any congregation that's involved in it, they would agree that it is a blessing to the whole congregation. To do Lads the way it needs to be done, so many adults have to be involved that it begins to be this ripple throughout the congregation where now congregations have a central focus. Hey, we're getting ready to train our youth right now, and we're getting ready for convention. And, it's just that real specific goal.
Becomes a part of Bible class curriculum for a lot of churches.
It does. And, I was visiting with a man last night, and he said, I'm from a small church, and we only have 4 young people in our church.
Oh.
And he said, I can't explain to you how valuable Lads is to us, because it gives us a program for our youth. And he smiled and he said, we have 4 youth here and we have 8 adults here. And so for that small congregation, they brought twice as many adults as they have youth. But, and we know that there are congregations like you're from and others that would be a large congregation with, it maybe a lot more activities. But there are also a lot of congregations here that this is one of their biggest activities every year.
Oh, yeah.
And so for either group, it's so vital. And so I just appreciate what Lads does for the whole congregation as well as for the youth.
Well, so many churches are trying to figure out, how do we, especially youth ministers and things, are trying to say, how do we encourage intergenerational ministry?
That's right.
And I'm thinking, it's baked right into Lads. I mean, it's
and
a
Lads has
natural
been
thing.
doing it for years.
Yes, they have.
You are exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was, I'm going way back, several years ago. You involved in youth will know what I'm talking about, but Sticky Faith, I believe, was the book that. Wasn't that the one that made the kind of the big deal about we have to have like 7 adults
I think
in the lives of our children? And I know a lot of youth programs, they changed the way they were doing things, and it really made a difference. It was good to get more adults than just a youth minister involved in their life. We see that clearly now. Yeah. But it is interesting to think, well, that's kind of what Lads has been the whole time, because one person can't take care of Bible bowl and puppets and speech and so.
Well, I want to be like, did Dr. Zorn know that, or did he just say, to pull this off, I need this many volunteers? It's just an amazing thought.
Yes.
It's pretty cool the way all this has worked out.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good thing, and there are a lot of ways that we can encourage younger people to be involved in the lives of older people and vice versa. But Lads makes it really natural to do that, so that's really neat. Yeah.
Hey. My close would be, I was just thinking about the beautiful description of Jesus, as we have that scene of 12 years old. And, really what that description in Luke 2:52 is that he grew well-rounded.
Yeah.
And Lads is a wonderful opportunity for young people to grow well-rounded. Think about how many relationships they form, and then coming to a large setting like this, again, just to expand their network and their relationships as they study books and get the courage to stand up and lead. And it's just beautiful, the opportunity that young people and their families and their congregations have through Lads. So I tip my hat to all of the Lads folks, and I'm thankful that Freed-Hardeman just enjoys such a natural relationship with those students and those families, and with the Lads Leaders family.
Yeah. Really cool. President David Shannon, thank you for your time. I know you got a lot going on. You've hit up at least 2 conventions this weekend, I know, of the 6 going on around the country. So that's good.
Yes, both of them are so great.
Yeah.
So great.
Good. Well, we want to thank you for being a part of this special episode coming to you from the Opryland Convention Center at the Nashville 2025 Lads to Leaders Convention. You can find out more about Freed-Hardeman University at FHU.edu. Learn more about Lads to Leaders at lads2leaders.com. And for the Light Network, I'm Robert Hatfield. Thanks for being with us.